Alright, so today, guys, is another video that we had kind of been hoping to make a little bit sooner, but anyway, here it is. The Mercurial Miracle 2 Firm Ground in the Black Volt Dark Shadow colorway, otherwise known as Safari 2, otherwise known as Ronaldo's new boots. But here they are, looking very much the same as the Vapors and every other shoe in that color. But they do have some notable differences between from the Vapors to these ones. Obviously, we discussed last time about the Vapors, no fly wire, different sock liner, all that good stuff. These ones have even more differences from the Vapor to these than the Superfly does to the Vapor, so let's get started. First thing, obviously, you notice straight away, Tepex only at the heel on this one, not on the forefoot. Reason for that simply because obviously using the mirror glass through the entire shoe makes it look like it should be a Vapor. So Nike went away from that. Pretty simple discussion there. You know, with the Vapor 6, obviously we were able to say next one, okay, no lace cover, but no, they've decided to do away with that one on the Vapors. So obviously that makes a pretty big difference between the two. Kind of hard at sometimes to be able to tell the difference between a Vapor and a Miracle now. But another difference, sock liner is definitely different. It doesn't shape to your foot quite as much as the Vapor does. It's one of those non-porous sock liners that, you know, obviously the Superfly has that very much a porous sock liner. These ones do not. These ones tend to, they're still pretty tacky, but they don't shape to your foot quite as well as the Vapor ones do. The ones in the Vapors, they're both pour-on, just one of them is a little bit more, you know, a little bit more malleable than the other, so it kind of bends to your foot a little bit better. These ones do not. Another deal. Obviously the studs, not hollow. They are filled in on this one. You can see actually on the heel studs, they still have that mold point right there where the where it would be hollow if it were a Vapor, but instead it is left intact. But yeah, also has, instead of the clear outsole like on all the other Miracles, this one does have a filled in one, just like on the World Cup edition they had on these. Same toe off point, that's all good. Right here, obviously with the mirrored glass gone, it's just it's a solid Pebax finish right here. It's actually inbuilt, so you can't really see it, but the Pebax is there. It doesn't mold to your foot quite as well as the mirrored glass and the Tepex, but that's all right. It still works pretty well. Another thing about these ones that doesn't tend to get mentioned a whole heck of a lot. The heel counter, actually two different things. The heel counter on this one isn't quite as sturdy as the one on the Vapor. It's not that it doesn't protect you, but it definitely does. It is a little bit softer, so it tends to actually shape to your foot a little bit better than the Vapor does. But a heel counter is one place where you don't necessarily want that. You do want it to be pretty stiff. The other thing is on the Vapor, on the inside here, you can't really see it from here. Actually, you can a little bit. If you take a look, you can see that difference right there where it's all synthetic up to the tag right there, and then it goes to a fabric lining on the interior of the shoe. That fabric lining does tend to get slippery when it's wet, so when the weather's bad or when you're sweating a lot, it definitely does get wet, so you do tend to slide around a little bit on that one, and you can blister, so make sure when you're breaking these things in, you're breaking them in when it's nice and dry out. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself getting some pain, some rubbing right on the outside, you know, on the top of your foot. Another, just a real quick difference, not a huge one, is obviously the shape of the upper. It is made to be a little bit wider than the Vapor. It's supposed to fit more feet, so that's the idea behind that one. But the other thing is the profile's a little bit lower, too. We'll show you right over here. You can see for yourself, when you put the two of them side by side, you can kind of tell. One has a little bit, it's just kind of like it almost bubbles up a little bit. You can't really see it all that clearly there, but if you take a look at the two of them, just like that, you can definitely tell that the Miracle, like I said, it just kind of bubbles up. It's not quite as sleek a profile from the toe box to the top of the shoe. Another thing about it is the toe box is a little bit taller on the Miracle than it is on the Vapor. Not necessarily a bad thing, same deal, it just fits more feet that way. So the Vapor is really meant to be kind of a specialized fit, just like the Superfly is, so that'll be your reason for that. And other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the long and short of the differences. The only other difference really is that the upper material on the Miracle is what they call a TJ42. It's a TJ61 on the Vapors. Basically, the TJ42 doesn't shape to your foot quite as well as the TJ61, and as a result, it's also a little bit less abrasion resistant. So they do tend to tear scuff and puncture a little bit easier than the Vapors do, but it's really not something you have to worry about too much. So, but yeah, other than that, you can definitely pick these up on Gold Store too if you feel like it. Give us a holler if you have any questions, anything like that. You know, obviously the videos will be open for comments, so let us know, and we'll do what we can to get back to you. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and check us out on Gold Store. That's GOLSTORE.com.